Hello, my dear friends. Today we are going to discuss a very important change which is going to come up in Section 16 of IGST Act. Currently, Section 16 of IGST Act states that a exporter of goods or services can export under letter of undertaking, that is LUT, or he can opt for IGST refund route. He can opt for IGST refund route. There is no clear demarcation as to which person can opt for LUT route or which person can opt for IGST route. All the persons, as per their willingness, can opt for either LUT route or they can opt for IGST refund route. However, the change which is proposed in section 16 states that LUT route is going to be a default route. All the persons are going to export the goods or services under LUT route. Only certain specified categories of persons or certain specified categories of goods or services are going to be eligible for IGST refund route. So, we are going to discuss who are the likely persons with proper analysis that these persons or these goods or services are going to be eligible for IGST refund route. Who are the likely persons who are going to be eligible for IGST refund route, and all other persons are required to follow LUT route going forward. This change is yet not effective. This is going to be effective very soon. This is just a proposal which is going to be implemented very soon. The other change which has come up in section 16 is that currently all the supplies to SEZ unit or developer is eligible for zero rated supply. All the supplies to SEZ unit or developer is eligible for zero rated supply, as in there is no requirement to charge any GST. However, there is going to be a condition which is going to be attached while supplying goods or services to SEZ unit or developer. We are going to discuss that condition which is going to be attached while supplying goods or services to SEZ unit or developer, so that a person, registered person, can take the benefit of zero rate on these supplies. So let's start with our discussion. Thank you. So let's start with our discussion. So this is the current section 16 of IGST Act. It says zero rated supply means supply of goods or services or both to SEZ developer or a SEZ unit. It says supply of goods or services to SEZ unit or developer means it is a zero rated supply. So what is going to be a proposed change? Now I am on the Finance Act 2021. These changes, relevant to note that these changes are yet not notified. These are just proposed and these can be notified anytime. So one change is that after the word supply of goods or services or both, for authorized operations is going to be added. It is going to say that, and just reframing the sentence, that supply of goods or services or both for authorized operations to SEZ developer or a SEZ unit. So the condition which is going to be attached is that the goods or services which a registered person is supplying to a SEZ unit or a developer should be for the authorized operation of that SEZ unit or developer. Now, what are authorized operations? Authorized operations are being decided at the state level wherever that SEZ unit or developer is going to be established. So these are state specific and these are decided by the respective state or the SEZ commissionerate. However, there are certain set of services which are always considered to be for the authorized operations of the SEZ unit or developer. There are certain set of services which are always considered to be authorized services for the purpose of authorized operations of that particular SEZ unit or developer. And these set of services are being notified by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This notification is there. I have opened this notification from sezindia.nic.in website of Government of India, wherein this notification has been issued, and it says there is a uniform list of services to be followed in all the SEZs there is a uniform list of services to be followed in all the SEZs. There is a list of 66 services. There is a list of 66 services which is considered to be default authorized services and which are always considered to be for the authorized operations of the SEZ. And I'm just coming to this list which is attached to this notification itself. So it is an annexure, and here it is: the default list of services approved by Department of Commerce are like this. So it lists out various services which are always considered to be for the authorized operations of the SEZ. So one of the services is chartered accountant services. So as and when a CA is going to provide services to a SEZ unit or developer, it is going to qualify for the zero rated supply. It is going to qualify for the zero rated supply because these are always considered to be for the purpose of authorized operations of that particular SEZ unit or developer. So this is the list of 66 services which is being released. It is relevant to note that this is not an exhaustive list. We have to see a respective commissionerate notification or the approval letter which is being granted to the SEZ unit or developer to identify what sort of list of services or goods are being authorized for the purpose of SEZ supply. So we have to see that list. However, these 66 services are anyways and always being part of the authorized operations list of the services for that particular SEZ unit or developer. So this is the first change which is going to come up in section 16. Now here it is very, very relevant to note that currently the refund provisions of GST law specifically states that the refund is going to be allowed. The refund is going to be allowed only when the services are for the authorized operations of the SEZ. Only for the authorized operations of the SEZ. However, this provision is only for the refund purposes. Going forward, this provision is going to be extended for the regular supply, as in for the normal supply also, wherein even a person who is just supplying goods or services to SEZ, however, he is not interested to claim any refund from the department, that person is also required to ensure that the services or the goods which he is supplying are for the authorized operations of the SEZ. Even when he is not claiming any refund from the GST department, even in that case, he has to follow the authorized operations concept, which is currently prevalent under the refund rules. However, this is going to be extended in the normal course, normal regular supplies also to the SEZ unit or developer. So this is the first change which is going to come up. The second change. Now let's see the current provisions of section 16. The current provision, section 16(3) states that the registered person can either export the goods or services under letter of undertaking. He can export the goods or services under letter of undertaking, or he can export the goods on payment of integrated tax, that is IGST. So there are two persons. A registered person can export the goods on letter of undertaking or export the services on letter of undertaking, and he can export the goods or services on payment of IGST. However, this provision is going to be amended. This provision is going to be amended, and this is how the amended provision is going to look like. It says a registered person is going to be eligible only for the LUT route. A registered person shall be eligible only for the LUT route, letter of undertaking. It says a letter of undertaking route only would be eligible option which is going to be available to all the registered persons. It further says the amendment which is very relevant for our discussion. It says the government may, on the recommendation of the council, subject to such conditions, safeguards, and procedures, by notification specify a class of persons who may make zero rated supply on payment of integrated tax. So it says the government may, on the recommendation, by notification. So there is going to be a special notification, and by that notification a class of person is going to be specified. A class of persons is going to be specified. We are going to discuss the likely persons who are going to be specified, who can make the exports on payment of IGST. On payment of IGST. It further says a class of goods or services. A class of goods or services. So either it should be class of that person, or either it should be a class of that particular goods or services that is going to be eligible for IGST refund route. Now, we are going to discuss the likely persons who are going to be notified for the purpose of IGST refund route, and all other persons would be eligible only for the LUT route. So, who are going to be likely persons? So, for that, there should be some authentic source which should be available with us. So, here I am. I am on the GST Council website. So this is again a government website, gstcouncil.gov.in. And here I search for 45th GST Council meeting. And from here I pulled minutes of meeting. Minutes of meeting I pulled. And I am on the page number 84 of this minutes of meeting. So what does it say? So let me read it out. It says, class of persons, the following category of persons may be notified. It says, following category of persons may be notified: a person who have been granted authorized economic operator certification, a AEO certification under safe framework of WCO. So you should be having this authorized economic operator certification. It further says persons who have been granted status holder certification of 2 star or above. The person who have been granted status holder certification of 2 star or above. Status holder certification you must be granted with government departments, PSU, local authorities, and statutory bodies. Government departments, PSU, local authorities, and statutory bodies. So these are the three class of persons who are likely going to be notified for the IGST refund route. So now let's discuss an example of this. I am a private limited company. I am a private limited company and I have an export turnover of only 50 crore rupees. I have an export turnover of 50 crore rupees. In that case, whether I can be considered to be a status holder certified person of 2 star or above. So for this, we have to go to DGFT FAQs. So again, I have pulled these FAQs from the DGFT website. It says, for 2 star export house, the 2 star export house should have minimum export performance of US dollar 25 million. It says US dollar 25 million. So minimum export performance for a 2 star export house, a person who can be considered to be 2 star export house should have minimum export performance of 25 US dollar in million. So that means turnover of Indian rupees 200 CR should be achieved that by that person so as to be eligible and for being considered to be 2 star export house. There should be a turnover of around 200 CR. By that way, a private limited company having a turnover of 50 CR can only be considered to be a 1 star export house. 1 star export house. It cannot be considered to be a 2 star export house. And since the proposal which is being considered specifically states that the person should have status holder certification of 2 star or above, which means that the person should have the turnover of around 200 CR. That means a private limited company cannot be considered to be a person who is eligible for IGST refund route. Now, let us say I am a government department and I have a turnover of, let us say, 50 CR. In that case, I am eligible by virtue of this. I am eligible by virtue of this criteria because I am a government department and there is no condition of turnover. Only in case of private entities, there is a condition that there should be a minimum turnover so that a person can considered to be eligible for the export of goods or services under IGST refund route. Under IGST refund route. So these changes are yet not notified. These changes are going to be effective very soon as and when the notification is going to come up. So this is all which I wanted to discuss in the proposed changes in section 16. Hope you liked this video. Thank you very much. I am going to see you soon. Thank you very much.